It is Wednesday the 26th of May, and I got a Facebook Community Standards notification on my phone. For some reason I didn't get it on my computer. It says your comment goes against our community standards on spam. No one else can see your comment. We have these standards to prevent things like false advertising, fraud, and security breaches. And so here's the comment. Just scroll up a bit. So this comment was submitted yesterday to the Humanist Association Facebook page. So that's the Unitarian Universalist Humanist Association. And it was a Facebook post about stoic attitudes towards opinion. I won't go into all the details, but we're dealing with the issues of opinion. Now, how did it get to my... That's not what I wanted. Okay, here we go. I guess it accidentally switched to the Facebook page. I guess I must have hit the link or something. So, here's the comment that I posted, and it was directly related to something that was said in the presentation. Watch out, UUs, that's Unitarian Universalists. Here is one of my opinions about the Unitarian Universalist Association's Canadian attorney's legal opinion that the Emerson Avenger blog post about such despicable crimes as pedophilia and rape committed by Unitarian Universalist ministers, to say nothing of UUA religious educators and prominent UU lay leaders, constitute the archaic criminal act of blasphemous libel against Unitarian Universalism, aka the UU movement. That's a term that... so it linked to this blog post that expresses my opinion regarding the opinion of the Unitarian Universalist Association's Canadian attorney that my blog posts about such despicable crimes as pedophilia and rape committed by certain Unitarian Universalist ministers constitute the criminal act of blasphemous libel. And it asks the question, do Unitarian Universalists hold such despicable crimes as pedophilia and rape to be sacred or holy to Unitarian Universalism, aka the UU movement? And it goes on, I scroll down. It's actually a letter I sent to the UUA's lawyer in which that question was asked. So this is an actual letter that was sent. I'm not going to read the whole letter, but the point being here is that essentially what it comes down to is Facebook is pretending that my comment, which calls into question the abusive misuse of Canada's blasphemy law by the Unitarian Universalist religion in legal bullying meant to conceal pedophilia and rape committed by Unitarian Universalists from the public, goes against community standards of Facebook. And they're suggesting, it doesn't say it absolutely is false advertising, because it says like false advertising. So these are some examples of what goes against community standards. So fraud, nothing fraudulent in my post. There's fraudulence, I would say, in falsely accusing me of blasphemous libel to conceal pedophilia and rape. It was a false accusation, so that's fraudulent. Security breaches? There's no security breach involved here. This is just, well, I suppose you could think of it as a security breach in terms of the security, in quotation marks, of the Unitarian Universalist minds being breached a bit by this information telling them that their religion falsely accuses people of crimes to conceal pedophilia and rape committed by their ministers. So anyway, it says continue, so let's continue here. How we make decisions. We use the same community standards around the world for everyone on Facebook. We use either technology or a review team to remove anything that doesn't follow our standards as quickly as possible. Our review team works in many languages to make sure our standards are applied consistently. See community standards. Okay. We could see community standards. Let's see what happens here. our standards on spam. Well, they're saying it's spam. So it says we don't allow people to get likes, follows, shares, or video views in a way that is misleading to others. We define spam as things like repeating the same comment, getting fake likes, follows, shares, or video views, coordinating likes and shares to mislead others about the popularity of something. Well, the only thing that might possibly apply here is repeating the same comment. You know, I have definitely repeated similar comment, not the same comment. Actually, that's one thing. This is not exactly the same comment, and yes, they do that. If you post exactly the same comment multiple times in different forms, and so at a certain point they're going to consider that spam, even though it might be a perfectly legitimate comment and you're just spreading it through different forums so that, you know, more people can see that comment, or post for that matter, then yes, that's repeating the same comment. But that's not always a bad thing. You could be posting and repeating something that's entirely legitimate and that people actually would want to see, and to me that's not spam. They might consider it spam, but I'd say it's just sharing information. And I did not repeat this comment. This was a standalone comment. It's similar to other comments that I've made about that issue, but it's by no means repeating the same comment. So essentially, I didn't do any of these things, you know. So let's continue. What would you like to do? Your comment goes against our community standards on spam, so no one else can see it. Disagree with decision. We use your feedback to make improvements on future decisions. Secure account. If you didn't post this, we can help you secure your account. Well, I posted it, so let's disagree with the decision. Continue. You disagreed with the decision. We usually offer the chance to request a review and follow up if we got decisions wrong. We have fewer reviewers available right now because of the coronavirus COVID-19 outbreak. We are trying to prioritize reviewing content with the most potential for harm. This means we may not be able to follow up with you, though your feedback helps us to do a better job in the future. Do better in the future. Thank you for your understanding. View community standards. Well, we already saw those close, so we're done. But I will say this: this notification almost certainly came as a result of someone at the Unitarian Universalist Humanist Association, almost certainly Reverend David Breeden, who essentially runs that account, flagging my comment as spam to get rid of it. This is Reverend David Breeden or someone else in the Unitarian Universalist Humanist Association flagging a comment that blows the whistle on Unitarian Universalist cover-up and denial of clergy abuse, which includes pedophilia and rape. This is completely out of alignment with Unitarian Universalism's 7 principles, most certainly the principle that calls for a free and responsible search for truth and meaning. How can you search for truth and meaning of something when you can't even read it? But it also goes against justice, equity, and compassion in human relations, because again, by suppressing these kinds of comments, you're making it difficult or impossible for people to obtain justice regarding clergy abuse. And part of not being able to get clergy abuse responsibly dealt with is the fact that Unitarian Universalists go to extreme and foolish lengths to cover up and hide it. How can you get justice for something that's covered up and hidden, repeated? That's it for now.